Now that the season's pretty much over, everybody and their dog is making their Premier League team of the seasons, but because I'm so unique and cool, I thought it'd be good to make my underrated Premier League team of the season. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Now this one might surprise a few people. I've actually gone with Kelleher in goal. I think he had some really big performances when Alisson was out injured. And to be honest, in Liverpool's really great season, I think Kelleher's gone quite under the radar. And with Alisson being so good, when he goes out injured, Kelleher comes in, plays really well, but then once Alisson's back fit, Kelleher just gets dropped to the bench and forgotten about again. And look, I understand that's how it goes. Alisson is number one, but I just think in terms of players that have got Liverpool to the Premier League title, I think Kelleher had quite a big part in that without getting the recognition. When Alisson was out injured for that lengthy period, he had some huge performances. And I know it's not Premier League, but in the Champions League when they played Real Madrid at home, Kelleher had a really good game, and I actually thought, wow, he deserves to be playing first team football. And that leads me on to my next thing. I think this summer he will actually leave Liverpool for first team football because one, he's good enough, and two, for so long everybody's thought that Kelleher's the best number 2 in the league and he deserves first team football, and I think the keeper from Valencia is coming in as well, and that makes way for Kelleher to go, and I think he could get Premier League football. That's the keeper done. We're going to move into our defence, and at right back I have gone with Mazraoui. And he's not the only United player in this team, so make sure you stick around for that. I think in what's been a really tough season for Manchester United, he's been consistently solid for them game after game, and when you take into account what they actually paid for him, I think it just makes his deal, his performances that much better. I think they paid around 15 million for him, which looks like an absolute bargain. Now heading on into our centre-backs, my first centre-back, I haven't really got too much to say for him, Ezri Konsa. He's again just been consistently solid, a rock at the back. There's talks of him going for £80 million, I think, to Chelsea. Crazy money, but it's just been quality. And heading into our other centre-back, I've gone with Jared Branthwaite. And again, like Mazraoui, in what's been a really tough season for Everton, I think the young centre-back has had a really solid season. He's great in the air, he's clean in on the tackle, and he's still only 22, so he can carry on honing his craft in the best league in the world, and I can't wait to see how good he actually becomes. Now, I know there's been links to Manchester United, I think Chelsea as well. I'd like to see him just stay at Everton a little bit longer, carry on growing, and I think really prove yourself in a team that isn't always going to be fantastic, but if you stand out in a team that's struggling, you're going to look brilliant. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, in at left back, I don't think there's many players more in the Premier League that are more well-rounded than this man. It's Ryan Ait-Nouri. Year on year, he's been consistently quality, even through the tough times for Wolves. He's great going forward, and his defensive side to his game is also brilliant. And like I've just said, I don't think there's many players that are more well-rounded than him, and I think he's proved that so much this season. He has so many attributes that are at such a high level, and to be honest, I think he could almost maybe play a game in midfield. I think I'd like to see that happen, but going forward, he's incredible. On the back foot, he's great defensively. And again, I'm surprised that no one's come in for him yet, because I don't think they'd be paying a huge deal, but they'd be getting a serious player. By the way, if you're new around here, please go down and hit that subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I think I'm just under 500, so we've got about 6 months to try and double that. So if you love football, if you like listening to my whiny voice and my stupid face, go and hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. Let's get into our midfield. Now, heading on into midfield, I think my first centre mid might actually surprise a few. I've said that about every player, haven't I? I've said that about literally every player. This is going to be a surprise. Shut up. But my first centre mid is Mikkel Damsgaard. The quality this guy has is actually incredible, and I think he goes so under the radar, it actually annoys me. He has 10 assists this season, and his vision and ability is incredible. It's literally out of this world. But it's not just his attacking ability where he excels. He's so incredibly versatile that you could literally play him across the whole midfield, any position, and I think he'd be comfortable there. And Damsgaard's adaptability allows him to fit seamlessly into various tactical setups, providing Brentford with dynamic options in midfield, and his work ethic is admirable. I really hope people start to see how good this guy is, because I think people haven't picked up on it. And look, they've had some huge stars at Brentford over the past 5-6 years, and Buemo, Ivan Toney, Wissa, and I think sometimes maybe he just gets like, not ignored, but people don't realise how good Damsgaard actually is, and I think people might start picking up on it now. And he's still only 24, so he's got so much time ahead of him. I can't wait to see him continue to grow in that team, and I think he's such an important part of that team, and people don't recognise that. Now into our next centre mid, the guy that plays a bit more forward on that attacking foot. Bruno Fernandes. Where would Manchester United actually be without him? Because I genuinely believe they'd be in a serious relegation scrap without this man. It's ridiculous where they would be. And in one of their toughest ever periods, he's consistently their best player. And if they didn't have him, and I'm not just talking about this season, over the past 3-4 seasons, I would be seriously worried for this club. The amount of times this season, we're going to talk about, the amount of times he's pulled them out the shit, big performances, big goals, come up with some big assists. It's unbelievable. And I mean, he's got 17 combined goals and assists this season. Still, when they're like 16th, 17th in the Premier League, it's actually quite surprising. People know how good Bruno Fernandes is, but I think the reason why I think he's so underrated is because in one of United's toughest ever, if not the toughest ever part of their history, he still comes up trumps for them. He still plays like he could play for Liverpool, for Man City. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying he'd get into that team, but I'm saying he has the quality to be playing for a team challenging for the title, and sadly, United are not. But the amount of times I've watched him this season and just thought, geez, like, he's pulled them out the shit, or he's another big performance. It's just time after time, and I'm starting to think maybe, I know he's club captain, will he start to feel like those efforts aren't being rewarded as they should be. And on to our last midfielder. I don't actually think this one's as much underrated. He's not like a hidden gem. He's not like, oh, I found this guy, everybody look at him. It's Baleba. But why I think he's so underrated is because he's just so good. He's all over the pitch. Every time I watch him, I just think, what an engine this guy has on him. Whether he's like scoring screamers, he's back defending. It's like, in a way, and this might sound crazy, it's almost like Kante with just how much he can get around the field. It's like he's got 3-4 lungs. It's just, he's never ending. It's like, he'll be on the attack and then a team will counter-attack and you'll think, oh, who's going to get back? And it'll be him. He'll be putting the tackle in. He'll be putting the block in. It's ridiculous. He's a pretty obvious pick, and I think people are starting to really start to see how good Baleba is. But I won't be surprised if another team, big team, comes in for him. I know Spurs apparently are looking at him. I can't see him going there. I think he's going to go to a team that's on the trajectory to winning a title. Now our midfield's done, we're going to head into our attacking line. And at right wing, I've gone with Bryan Mbeumo. Now listen, I know he's not underrated. I know he's not unseen, but season after season he shows how good he is for Brentford. It's ridiculous. Even when Ivan Toney was there and he was the star man, Mbeumo still put up incredible numbers and still sort of didn't get recognised. And now Toney's gone, Mbeumo's still doing unbelievably well, but I feel like nobody speaks about him. I feel like we should talk about a player doing these kind of numbers season after season, and like we should be talking about him a lot more than we are, and we don't speak about him like we should. But this is his highest ever output in terms of goals and assists in a Premier League season. He's just one of them players I love watching. Very direct, exciting, gets you up off your seat, and his numbers are incredible for the season. I mean, the guy's picked up 18 goals and provided 6 assists, which is mind-blowing, and people don't seem to talk about him. There's some incredible numbers. And again, I know I've said this a couple of times, I won't be surprised if he gets himself a big move. I think it's been on the cards for quite a while. Again, I think he's still only like 24, 25. He looks so much older. But he's got a lot of time, and I think teams will think, now's the time to buy. 24, 25, putting up great numbers. And I don't mean just an English team. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to a team in France or maybe Italy. I could see maybe Juventus going in for him. They need something up front. That's enough of me talking about Mbeumo. Let's get into our strike. Now, in the striker position, I feel like there wasn't too many options. Like, there's strikers that have had really good seasons. Chris Wood, Isak. But I don't think there was many that have had, like, really underrated seasons. But that's why I've gone for Danny Welbeck up front. And let me tell you why. To still be starting for a Premier League team up front at the age of 34 is an achievement in itself. But then you realise, oh, wait, this is, again, like Mbeumo, his highest ever output in terms of goals and assists at the age of 34. And listen, this guy's had a long Premier League career. I don't think it's just his goals and assists. Listen, he's not putting up crazy numbers, but still, he's still scored the most he's ever scored in a Premier League season in terms of goals and assists. And he's had a long career, and still to be playing up front at 34, starting, by the way. And they sent Evan Ferguson out on loan, this £100 million player that they were meant to be having. They were valuing Evan Ferguson at 100 million. Danny Welbeck's managed to kick him out of the team and send him out on loan. It's not just that, he's 34. It's not just his goals and assists. I don't think that Brighton front line would work as well as it does without him. I think he's like the gel. I think they all work around him quite well. Minter, Adingra, and I think they all sort of like move around him, and I think he's like the cog to that attack. Finally, into our last player at left wing. Drum roll, please. Alex Iwobi. Now, without being awful, for years I watched this guy play football for Everton, for Arsenal, and I genuinely used to think to myself, how does this guy play Premier League football? But this season is completely different. He looks like a different player. He looks more confident, he looks more direct, he's more exciting to watch, and I'm really happy for him. And again, I know I've gone through this a couple of times with these players, this is his highest ever output in a Premier League season, and also had a long Premier League career. I think he's been playing 8-9 years in the Prem now, and this is his highest ever season. And again, Fulham were looking like they could have pushed for European football. I think they've just missed out on it now, but it's just been really exciting to watch him. And most of the times that I've watched him this season, I've actually like thought, he's good. He's good. I'm happy for him as well. I just really hope he can grow on top of these performances, the season he's had, and keep going, because I think he deserves it. He's got a lot of skin in the game. He's been in the Premier League a long, long time, and I don't think it ever really worked out for him at Arsenal or at Everton. And like I said, I used to watch him, and I used to think, how is this guy playing Premier League football? It doesn't make any sense. And this season, he looks like a Premier League footballer. He's more confident. He plays with a lot more directness and aggression, and I think that's down to Fabio Silva and his system. Like I said, he's got a lot of skin in the game, and he's had to work for what he's got and where he's at. And like I said, I just hope he keeps building on that next season. But there we have it, my underrated Premier League team of the season. I want you to do two things. Go down in the comments, let me know any you disagree with or any you think I've missed, any players you think I've missed. And while you're down there, hit that subscribe button, please. It means the world to me. Like I said, I'm trying to hit 1,000 before the end of the year. We're trying to get to 1K. We're just under halfway, so I really appreciate that. And like I said, if you love football, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.